All right. Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all the praises, honor, and the glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim YAHAWASHI, Bahashim Rakah Kodesh. Double honors to the apostles and unto the elders, the great millstone, GMS, who taught me this truth. Honors to the brethren in the Akim, that's pushing out this truth with all sincerity and in faith. And to Wadi Yahweh, Bahashim YAHAWASHI, for allowing me once again to come back with another lesson. And the title of this lesson is simply going to be His Heart Fixed, Trusting in the Lord. Now, before I proceed, I'm just going to check the live real fast. Bear with me one moment. All right, cool. The live is cool. Live is good. Once again, title of this lesson, His Heart Fixed, Trusting in the Lord. Okay. And this lesson came to mind, just me meditating. And one good example that comes to my mind, or that came to my mind first when I was thinking uh, of not only just a man, but men who were, no matter what, no matter what was said to them, no matter what they were threatened with, they maintained their integrity and they maintained their trust in faith, really, in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Now, you brothers may know where I'm going with this, but this, and through the Spirit, let me grab the precept that I titled this lesson for, and then we'll go to the account. But this is the book of Psalms 112 and 7. And it says here, and it says, and he shall not be afraid of evil tendings. His heart, meaning his mind, is fixed, trusting in the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashai. See, so, and that's the thing, we want to have our hearts fixed, our minds fixed, and trusting in the Most High and in Him alone. Okay, the scriptures talk about that. You believe in Him, and He will help you. Matter of fact, this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and 6. I believe. Yep, Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 verse 6. Believe in Him, and He will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in Him. And that's what we're going to have to do. Trust in Him. Trust in Him at all times, no matter what. Now, let's go to the example that came to my mind. And this is the book of Daniel. Okay. It's the book of Daniel, chapter 3, verse 1. Now it says, Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold, whose height was 60 cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. And he set it in the plain of Duran, in the province of Babylon. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king sent to gather together the princes and the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, and sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces, to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. The princes, the governors, and captains, the judges, the treasurers, and the counselors, and the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Then, and it says, then an herald cried aloud, which a herald is not for the most part, but a herald is an official messenger. Okay, when you go into the right, let's see.
Here's the definition of herald: an official messenger bringing news.
See, a harbinger, indicator, signal, and a messenger. Really, almost like a well, kind of what we are, us brothers. We're the heralds. We're the official messengers of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Now it says, then the herald cried aloud, to you, it says, to you it is commanded, O people, nations, and tongues, that at what time you hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, phylactery, dulcimer, and all kinds of manner of music, or Slakia says, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And whosoever falleth not and worshipeth shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And it says there, and this kind of brings me to when I read this, I get the mark of the beast comes to mind, because those that don't take it, you're gonna be just like this, you know, you won't be cast into a burning fiery furnace, but the scripture do talk about how I saw the those that were beheaded, because those are those guillotines to those that did not bow, pretty much that didn't bow down to the image, the beast, all right, the mark, so to speak. Okay. And just like, and that's why the scriptures say that he shall be tried and he shall have tribulation 10 days, but he that endure, or the he that but be thou faithful unto the death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Okay. Now it says, verse 7, for at Slakia says, therefore at that time, when the people heard the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, phylactery, and all kinds of music, the people and the nations of languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Wherefore at the time certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. And they spake and said unto the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. Thou, O king, hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, phylactery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, shall fall down and worship the golden image. But whoso falleth not down and worshipeth, he shall be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. There are also, and it says, and there are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the provinces of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, which I believe they're when you go to the first chapter, it mentions Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael, if I'm not mistaken, because there was the children of Judah, uh, or yeah, it was the king, yeah, Judah here, yeah, the children of Judah right here. This is Daniel 1:6, and among these were the children of Judah, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, and unto whom the princes of the hinges gave names. For he gave unto Daniel the name of Belshazzar, and Hananiah of Shadrach, and to Mishael, or it's like, uh, and it says, and to Mishael of uh, Meshach, and then to Azariah of Abednego. See, these Mishael, uh, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, those were pretty much like their slave names, so to speak. Okay, just like how we have our slave names here. Mine given being Ernest. But certain brothers giving brothers names. We broke that. You know, but coming back here, reading on, and it says, verse 12, there are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. And it says, verse 13, then Nebuchadnezzar in his rage and fury commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spake unto them, is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, do ye not serve my gods, nor worship the image, the golden image which I have set up? Now if ye be ready, now it says, and if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, and phylactery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast in the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is the God that should deliver you out of my hand? So Nebuchadnezzar right now, he's, essentially he's talking shit. He's being real proud. I could do this, and no, who's going to deliver you? And then when you later find out, when you read on, he gets humbled very quickly. That which I just read, what he said, who shall be the God that shall deliver you out of my hands? That changes here real quick. Okay. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this manner. But if it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king. But if not, be it known to thee, O king, that we will not serve thy powers. So they gave the answer of, well, our God that we serve is going to get us. He's going to take care of us. But they did have the other option. But if not, right? Let's just just to be safe, But if he doesn't, right? Still, at the end of the day, we're not bowing down to shit, man. That's pretty much what he told them. It says, but if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the image, golden image, which thou hast set up. So they were gonna budge for nothing. All right. They were faithful, really. This is an example of them being faithful unto the death it needs be. Okay. Now, verse 9, then was Nebuchadnezzar full of rage. And it says, and from his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 17 times more than it was wont to be heated. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. And then these men were bound in their coats and their hosens and their hats and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Therefore the king's commandment was urgent. The furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the mighty men, the ones that bound those three men. And it says, and these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished. And it says, and rose up in haste and spake and said unto the counselors, did not we cast these three men bound in the midst of the fire? And they answered and said unto the king, true, O king. And he answered and said, lo, I see four men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And it says, and from the fourth is like, it says, and from the fourth is like the Son of the Heavenly Father. So YAHAWASHI was there with them, walking in the fire. And it says that Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace, and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High Power, come forth and come thither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire, and the princes and governors and captains and the king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men whose body the fire had no power, nor was the hair of their heads singed, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of the fire had passed on them. Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, blessed be the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who hath sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him. You see that? The ones that trusted in him, the servants, and it says, and delivered his servants that trusted in him. And that's what it's going to come down to at the end of the day. It's going to come down to those that trust in the Most High. That's why I titled this lesson, Heart Fixed Trusting in the Lord. Because these men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, or Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael, they were delivered. Right? And they were faithful even unto the death. Because we just read up a little bit that he said, look, our power whom we serve, that's the one that's going to pretty much take care of us. He's the one that's going to deliver us. But if not, just know that, look, Nebuchadnezzar, look, nigga, we ain't bound down to nothing. You hear me? That's pretty much what they were telling him, And then you best believe they was like, we tried to tell you, motherfucker. We tried to tell you. You didn't wanna listen. But it says, then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, blessed be the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and have changed the king's word and yielded their bodies, that they might not serve nor worship any god except their own power. Therefore I make a decree that every people, nation, and language which speak anything amiss against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no God that can deliver after this sort. See, so like I told you, or like I was saying earlier, brothers, that his attitude, Nebuchadnezzar's attitude, changed very quickly. Because he was being proud at first, saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna throw you in the fire, and there's what God is there gonna be to deliver you?" And he was shut up very quickly. You know. Now it says, and then the beautiful thing is, here it is. When a man's ways please the Heavenly Father, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. And that's essentially what happened between, Nebuchadnezzar the king to the three men of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And on top of that, they get a little bonus too. Verse 30. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the provinces of Babylon. So and they trusted in the Most High. They believed in him, they trusted him, and they were helped. And that's what we need to have. Our trust in the Lord. And really in the Most High forever. Always, all the time, no matter what. This is Isaiah 26, verse 2. Or is it 2? 4. And it says, this Isaiah 26 and 4, trust ye in the Lord forever, for in the Lord YAHAWASHI is everlasting strength. See? And you honestly, there's so many precepts, honestly, that go into this topic of trust, because that's a big key in this word. You hear about this trust in the Lord, trust in him, trust thou in the most high power. You hear and read these precepts, and they're there for a reason, because that's what it's going to come down to. This is Psalms 2 and 12. It says, kiss the son lest he be angry and he perish from the way. And when his wrath is kindled but a little, blessed are all they that put their trust in him. And you become blessed when you put your trust in the Most High. All right? When your heart is fixed, trusting in thou in the Lord. Okay? Grab a couple more precepts. This was Psalms 30 or Proverbs 30 and 5. Every word of the Most High is pure, and he is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. And we see that example in the book of Daniel, the third chapter, because those men had like a pretty much like a force field around them, to where the fire had no power over them, and they were able to walk through the midst of the fire, with one that looked like the Son of Man, which is Yahawashi. And why? Because they trusted in him. They trusted in Yahweh or Yahawashi. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to trust in him and never, and not, or, well, yeah, we'll say that. We're never going to be afraid. We're not going to be afraid. That's Isaiah 12, verse 1. And it says, and in that day thou shalt say, O Lord, I will praise thee, though thou was angry with me, and thine anger is turned away, and thou comfortest me. Behold, the Most High is my salvation. I will trust and not be afraid, for the Lord Yahawashi is my strength and my song. He is also become my salvation. See? But it's all about the trust. All about trusting in Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi. Some trust in chariots, some in horsemen, but we will remember the name of Yahweh, Yahawashi. Psalms 20, verse 7. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we will remember the name of the Lord, our power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. And that's right. Okay. So, through the Spirit, I'm going to go ahead and end the year. I pray and I hope that this lesson was edifying, exhorting, and comforting. And as always, I want to give all the praises, honor, and the glory unto Yahawah, Ba'ashem, YAHAWASHI, Harakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, GMS for telling me this truth. And honors to the brethren in the Akim that's pushing out this truth, all sincerity and in faith into Wadi Yahawah, Ba'ashem, YAHAWASHI, for allowing me once again to come back with another lesson. Shalom to the sister. And shalom to the brother, our reasonable service. And through the Spirit, I'm going to grab these precepts that he just put up, just read them real quick. This is the book of Psalms 34 and 7. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth him. And that's right. And the angels are always around us, even when we go out to those highways and hedges. Those angels, they're watching over us all the time. Psalms 9 and 10. And it says, and they that know thy name will put their trust in thee. Beautiful. And it says, and for thou, Lord, has not forsaken them that seek thee. See that? And that's beautiful. All right. But the water for the precepts, brother. And shalom to you. Shalom to the sister. And shalom to Pam. All praises. All right.